YouTube, what's good? Zapus90 here, back in with another video. And in this video today, it's going to be a big one because for years, people have been asking me, what is your favorite Dolphins game you've ever been to? And today, I'm going to go over them. My favorite Dolphins games I've ever attended in chronological order. We start out this list with the very first game I ever attended, and my first Dolphins game was absolutely insane. Dolphins versus Raiders, November 16th, 2008. What a game this was. The 1-2 punch of Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams helped out the run game. Ted Ginn Jr. was the player of the game for sure, as he had 42 yards on the ground and 1 touchdown and caught 4 passes for 51 yards. Johnny Lee Higgins, awesome name, scored on a 93-yard punt return to give the Raiders their first lead of the game. Dan Carpenter nailed a 38-yard field goal with 38 seconds left to cap off a 61-yard drive, and the Dolphins earned their 4th consecutive victory, defeating the Oakland Raiders 17-15. Plus, I can tell my kids that I saw the epic quarterback battle between Chad Pennington and this guy, Jamarcus Russell. We sacked him 6 times as he went for 15 of 22 for 156 yards and a big L. Next game on the list, we go to 2011, Week 17, as the Dolphins face the Jets. And New Year's Day 2012 will always be a bittersweet day for Dolphins fans, as that was the great Jason Taylor's last ever game. After 15 years, he called it a career in a big way, scoring a huge win over the New York Jets, 19-17. The Dolphins have nothing to lose in this game, while the Jets had one mission should they choose to accept it: win and they're in, but they failed to do so. We crushed the playoff hopes and dreams. Throughout the 2021 season, the Dolphins had recorded a total of 13 interceptions, and on New Year's Day, they brought their A-game, intercepting Mark Sanchez 3 times. We finished the 2011 season winning 5 of our last 7 games, while starting out the season 0-7. That sounds familiar, right? Okay, now we got one of my absolute favorites. If I had to pick my favorite game that I've ever been to, this would be it. Halloween night 2013, Dolphins versus Bengals. We were on a 4-game losing streak. What a surprise. It didn't get exciting until the 3rd quarter. Brent Grimes returned an interception 94 yards for a touchdown that put the Dolphins up 17-3 midway through the 3rd quarter. Then, Giovanni Bernard had 2 touchdowns to tie the game back up 17-17. His second touchdown was something unreal. He scored an electrifying 35-yard touchdown. He started on the right side, went back to the left, weaved up the sideline, cut back across the middle, and somersaulted into the end zone, leaving the Dolphins sprawled in his way. After that, back-to-back field goals from both the Bengals and the Dolphins to make it 20-20 heading into overtime. And with us needing any kind of score to end our 4-game losing streak, 2 points were plenty, as it was Cameron Wake who sacked Andy Dalton in the end zone with 6 minutes and 38 seconds left in overtime, and the Dolphins beat the Bengals 22-20 on Halloween night, making it the 3rd time in NFL history that a game ended in an overtime safety. Absolutely epic. Staying in the 2013 season, we go to Week 15, as it was the Dolphins and the Patriots. And this game will be one of those games that Dolphins fans will look on with fond memories, as it was the first time in a few seasons where we beat the Patriots. We had 7 straight losses to them, to be exact. Ryan Tannehill shook off 4 sacks to throw for 312 yards and 3 touchdowns, including a 14-yarder to Marcus Thigpen with 1:15 left that provided the game-winning margin. His other scoring passes covered 39 yards to Mike Wallace and a 2-yarder to Daniel Thomas. Tom Brady went 34 for 55 and threw 2 touchdowns and had 364 passing yards. Now, with New England out of timeouts, after the last-minute touchdown from Tannehill to Thigpen, Tom Brady threw for the end zone 4 times in a row. The first 3 passes were incomplete, including one to Danny Amendola that Michael Thomas broke up on 1st down. Now, prior to this game, Michael Thomas was on the 49ers practice squad. 4th down, with 7 seconds left, he stepped in front of Austin Collie to make the game-sealing interception. Dolphins got the win, 24-20, and the look on the Patriots fans' faces was absolutely priceless. Also, that game gave us this absolutely legendary GIF. Now we go to 2014, as it was the Chargers and the Dolphins. And San Diego, well, let's be honest, they should still be there. F.U. Spanos was shut out for the first time since 1999, while the Dolphins earned their first shutout victory since 2006. And every Dolphins victory this season up to that point was by double digits, and this was their easiest set and their most lopsided win since 1995. The Chargers remained winless in South Florida since January of 1982, a stretch that included 8 consecutive losses to the Dolphins. In this game, the Dolphins also ended Phillip Rivers' Chargers record streak of at least one touchdown pass in 28 consecutive games. The Dolphins won 37-0. Now we go to 2015, as it was the Houston Texans coming to South Florida to face the Dolphins, and the Dolphins had previously been 0-7 against Houston, the only team that they had never beaten up until that point. In the first half, we scored 41 unanswered points. It started with a Rashard Matthews 53-yard touchdown from Tannehill, not one but 2 touchdown catches from Jarvis Landry, a pick 6 from Rashad Jones, and 2 Lamar Miller touchdowns, one being a 54-yard pass completion and one 85-yard run. The Texans made it a little closer in the second half as Arian Foster got 2 touchdowns through the ground and Nate Washington caught 2 touchdown catches through the air, but it wasn't enough because the Dolphins got the win 44-26 in Dan Campbell's second game as interim head coach. Now we go to 2017, as it was the Dolphins going to Atlanta to face the Atlanta Falcons, and surprisingly, this was my first away game. Jay Cutler, who struggled in his first 4 games as the Dolphins fill-in starter after Tannehill going down in training camp with the ACL injury and putting off retirement, went 19 of 33 for 151 yards, including 2 touchdowns to Jarvis Landry and Kenny Stills. Jay Ajayi had a big game on the ground, rushing for 130 yards, and we rallied from a 17-0 deficit to stun the Atlanta Falcons and get the win 20-17. Matt Ryan had another crucial interception with the Falcons in position to at least attempt a game-tying field goal. Now we go to the year 2018, as it was the Dolphins and the Chicago Bears. The Bears offense came alive after they trailed 7-0 at halftime, but then Miami rallied from a 21-10 deficit to tie the game after 2 Albert Wilson touchdowns to force overtime. Brock Osweiler threw for a career-high 380 yards, 3 touchdowns against 2 interceptions. Brocktober 2018, never forget. In overtime, former Dolphins kicker Cody Parkey went wide right on a 53-yard field goal try with 2 minutes left that would have won them the game. But it was rookie Jason Sanders who got the game-winning field goal 47 yards as time expired to give the Dolphins the win 31-28 over the Bears. Speaking of the 2018 season, a couple weeks later, we traveled to Lambeau Field to take on the Green Bay Packers, and we were still in Brocktober. But after this, I knew it was over.
Through the hands of Osweiler, and that will end the drive right there. Gilbert jumps on the ball. The snap comes from the center, Travis Swanson.
Even though the Dolphins got absolutely slaughtered, the fact that I was able to see a game at the historic Lambeau Field was an experience that I will never forget. If you're a sports fan, Lambeau Field has to be on your list of places to go and see a game. Aaron Jones ran for a career high of 154 yards and 2 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams connected for 2 touchdown passes, and the Green Bay Packers beat the Miami Dolphins by a final score of 31-12. December 1st, 2019, the Dolphins faced the Philadelphia Eagles in Hard Rock Stadium. And this game was an absolute roller coaster, back and forth all throughout. But this game is probably most known for Matt Hawk throwing a touchdown pass to Jason Sanders in what would be the play of the year. Devontae Parker did much of the rest. He finished with 7 receptions for a career high of 159 yards and 2 touchdowns, both on leaping grabs. Mike Gesicki also got into the act, scoring with a 14-yard touchdown catch from Ryan Fitzpatrick. Carson Wentz of the Eagles threw 3 touchdowns to help build a 28-14 lead, but the Eagles were kept out of the end zone for the final 26 minutes In the end, the Dolphins got the win 37-31. Last but not least, from this past year, 2021, Week 3, Dolphins versus Raiders in Las Vegas. Now, this was my first time in Las Vegas. It was an absolutely incredible trip, but unfortunately, this game resulted in a Dolphins loss. But the game was absolutely awesome. It started with an Landon Roberts pick 6, extending the streak with 25 straight games with a takeaway for the Miami Dolphins. And while the Raiders offense outgained Miami in yards total, 497 to 330, it was their special teams and defense that ignited the comeback after Miami scored the game's first 14 points. The Raiders then scored on their next 2 possessions when Derek Carr found Hunter Renfrow for a touchdown and Peyton Barber dived over the pack for a 1-yard touchdown to make the score 25-14. But the Dolphins weren't finished. After Jason Sanders made it a 1-score game with a 46-yard field goal midway through the 4th quarter, Jacoby Brissett scrambled on a 4th and goal from the 1-yard line for the touchdown with 2 seconds left in regulation. He then passed to Will Fuller for the 2-point conversion to force overtime. The team exchanged field goals in overtime with 2 minutes and 49 seconds, but Miami never got the ball back as that led to Daniel Carlson hitting the game winner as time expires, meaning the Raiders got the win 31-28 in overtime over the Miami Dolphins. And that is it for my list of my personal favorite Dolphins games that I have ever attended. Let me know what you think about this list down below. If you have ever been to a Dolphins game, let me know what's your favorite down below. Or, honestly, your favorite football game you've ever attended. Let me know down below. As always, follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. Links for that are in the description. And until next time, this is Pizzle saying peace out and fins up. Bye-bye!